It's Anahata. How are you? Welcome to this very special 60-minute presentation streaming live in the Get Paid to Write Your Bestseller group. Now, I can't see your comments because I'm streaming from Zoom, but I promise you I will go back to each and every one. If you have questions during this presentation, please ask them. And comments, ahas, things you want to remember for later. This will be in replay for a limited amount of time. I encourage you to end all distractions and really pay attention. You've magnetized this information for a reason. And so being present and being fully engaged in this information will help you to digest, because as you know, I go fast and there's a lot of ground we cover. But rest assured that your higher self is absorbing the vibration of what is being shared so that you can continue to magnetize the people, places, and things that are going to support the momentum of this information that you seek, which is, how the heck do I write, publish, and get paid for a book? And oh, wouldn't it be nice if it could reach a bestseller list? I am here broadcasting this information because I believe we are in an unprecedented time of fear, manipulation, and there are so many light workers, way showers like you that may have some information that would help the planet. In fact, I know that each of you do within you. Some of you have already started writing your books. Some of you have just not even bothered to open up the computer and type because there are some limiting programs saying, who am I to be an author? Who am I? What do I have to share? And I want to just break through all of that BS today and tell you that you are a potent creator here to birth new energy into the world. And when you can hone in on what it is you want to share and how you want to improve people's lives, books are such a beautiful way to expand your reach very, very quickly. And so I'm going to ask that you share, where are you tuning in from around the world? It's so exciting for me to see all of you busy birthing your magic in all areas of the globe. So I want to share my screen with you and get into the presentation. Obviously, you're here because you want to get paid to be a best-selling author. Now, I'm here to demystify that process. But I want to ask you a candid question before we get going, and that is, have you started writing your book yet? Now, if not, why? Why? There are so many people doing so many amazing things. Perhaps you already have a course series. Perhaps you're wanting to create one. You know, we go about learning things, and we have so much wisdom and information to share, and yet we aren't sharing that. So if you have an idea of a book you want to write and you're not writing it, I encourage you to move past that today. And I'll show you why we're stuck in just a second. But also, likewise, if you've started your book and you just haven't finished it, what's taking so long? And I think I have the answer, guys. It's your identity. We are in these little rat races with our time management, the things we're doing, the patterns we're creating, the habits we're in, the schedules we have, the responsibilities we have. And so unless we make what I call office hours to get this stuff done, it's not going to happen. And so you can ask, align, allow, but if you don't activate and take the visceral steps, the actual steps to get it done, it's not going to happen. I'm going to make that process easier for you today. But I want to just point it out that it's the patterns. It's your identity, right? You are that dot, and you haven't experienced the feeling of being a best-selling author yet. You haven't filled your programs based on that book yet. If you have and you want to scale up and polish that, congratulations. But most of you, you're more like wanting that, but you haven't achieved it yet. And so there is tension in that space between, because you know, as well as I do, what you have to say is so valuable and urgent, even in this time of fear-based manipulation. What you have in your heart space to share, even if you haven't articulated it yet, is so pivotal to the growth of humanity. It deserves to be expressed and heard. And so my solution with all of this, since it's all about identity, is to zoom out and stop making it personal. Oftentimes we get stuck in procrastination because of self-limiting beliefs and self-sabotage. We don't think we have anything to share. We don't think what we have to share is valuable enough, or we think, gosh, is what I'm writing good enough? And then we get stuck in this loop of perfectionism, which has us spinning around the same ideas and never moving forward with it. So I invite you to look at it this way. We're going to get cosmic and spiritual on you right now. That's my favorite way to go. You've got to become the person you want to be before you reach your goal. Okay. So that means now you have to act like a bestseller now. You have to talk like a bestseller now. You have to generate content like a bestseller now, not when. It doesn't happen when, it happens in the now. And that magnetizes to you because it's your identity and your ego mind feels okay with it. Anything outside of what you've done, it feels a little bit scary. And so that's when self-sabotage can enter and fear blocks come in, and maybe even writer's block. And so I encourage you during this presentation to not let your how determine your what, okay? Don't let how am I going to do this interfere with what you want to do, okay? If you knew how to get there, you'd already be there. And this is why you've magnetized this information, because I have information that's going to open the path for you and make it very, very clear how to achieve these goals step by step by step. And I'm going to walk you through it. But I want to zoom out also and let you know that your success is not all about strategy. We think that if we can do, then it will be. I want you to know that 95% of your success in anything you do is mindset. And you have this little 5% strategy that often is used as an excuse, meaning if I don't know how to do it, then that's not my fault. I just don't know how to do it. And then you surrender to the arguing for your limitations, victimization, which is not a good place to be, because then you don't reach your goals. And so I want to tell you really that we need to start visioning big. And all successful people visioned a version of themselves before it occurred. You know, it was interesting. Edison, actually, there's documentation where he said, I'm going to find this new way to transmit and illuminate beyond our current capabilities so that we don't need the outdated structures, whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically everyone thought he was nuts. They were like, okay, good luck with that, buddy. Right? The Wright brothers, when they were dreaming of the first plane and how to get it off the ground, it hadn't been done yet. People were like, yeah, right, buddy. The internet, even if you were to say back when computers first came out, that we will begin to share on the World Wide Web, instantaneous across any geography around the world. Okay, good luck with that, buddy. Right? So it is all about visioning what you desire to be and then collapsing the wave function into matter. You are an alchemist. Everything that ever was or will be is already here. Energy is not created or destroyed, it's only transmuted. And so when you can really get your mindset open, then you can start doing what I call flow your book. And I'm going to help you do this as well, where you tap into that attunement. You become one with it. That's what attune means, because it's all out there in the ether. I believe this is also why revolutionary things come in multiples, because it's in the ether. And there are just certain beacons placed around the globe that are there. You always hear about these best-selling songs that are written in 15 minutes. They were tuned in to the frequency of that best-selling melody and words. That's just it. So you can get yourself into that space more often than not, and you'll see yourself opening up to so much content and a volume of inspirational ideas that you will then have to do what I do, which is zoom out further and decide which one is the most needed, provides the most value, and that I enjoy doing. Okay, so the Ikigai model, good for you, good for planet, good for the well-being of humans, of humankind. We really need to begin to hone in on that and then just express. Just do it. Get outside of yourself. Don't let yourself be the excuse. You know, if you can help one person with your book and you're holding back in some way, you know, that person doesn't get what you have to say. And that's a shame. That's a shame. So the only time you don't succeed is when you give up. We are tuning in here from all phases of our book. Some of us have launched books and no one's reading them. This is still for you. Some of us have started our book and haven't finished them. This is for you. Some of us are like, I think I have a book, but you haven't started at all yet. This is for you. And you asked for this information. That's why it magnetized to you. I want to zoom out again in case you don't hear the lingo. I'm always talking about fractals, the fractal information system. It was a profound experience that I had in a quest that I took, that I was hosting, where I saw that complexity doesn't equal value, it equals overwhelm. That's it. And people want things in bite-sized pieces that they can digest. And a lot of us try and pile so much on that people can't understand what we're saying. And so zooming out of that and distilling your especially pure magic is critical so that they can hear you. And the 4 A's of Anahata, if you practice this over and over and over again, I'm going to get a tattoo right here that says ask, align, allow, activate. That's it. That's all you ever need. You ask. So something in your vibration asked for this information, whether out loud and consciously or subconsciously. Align, that information comes to you like a magnet through your asking. In the asking, there is an answer. That is the coolest part of it. What you desire desires you. When you allow and you let go and you let things flow, even against your logical mind, and usually against your logical mind, because your logical mind wants to keep you small, safe, focused in the known. And if you're trying to reach something that is outside of you that you've never experienced yet, it's a requirement to get outside of your known, which is a perceived scary thing. But it doesn't have to be when you can zoom out to your superconscious self, which is the all. And so when you allow the seeds of what you've planted to grow, and when you nurture those via surrounding yourself with the people, places, and things that are going to support that vision, it will generate results. And of course, you have to activate. You have to take the steps forward to do what you say you're going to do. You have to own it, dream it, be it. That is my anthem for 2022, Master Builder number. And guys, this isn't all like, oh yeah, 95% mindset, Anahata. Okay, whatever you say. Everything is energy and information. Einstein even said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you can't help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics, okay? So I want to dive in with one big hack for the day. And I hope you take this away with you and you start putting it in action. And that is the process of flow. Most people, and this is why New Year's resolutions don't work, or setting out to write a book and then you just fizzle out, doesn't work. You've got to be engaged and winning. Okay. This is where skill meets challenge. Okay. If it's too easy and you're just not engaged at all, it's boring and you won't get it done. Think about things that are super boring to you that you just keep putting on the back burner and you're like, I just don't enjoy that. I just don't want to do that. And you do anything but that. Likewise, if there's a perception of it's just too hard, it's too complicated, I'll never get there, what happens is you're going to get overwhelmed. So this is the beauty of zooming out again and distilling things down into simple bite-sized nuggets. And I hope you take this away and write about this in your book, as far as writing like this, where you zoom out, you give little chunks, little small chapters. You know, there's a reason why so many books aren't read. You buy them and you don't write them. Why? Read them. Because I think it was something like 80% of books purchased go unread. They just sit on the shelf. You know it, I know it. I've bought many books that I don't read. And the problem is it's complexity. I want to share with you in a minute this book that's 14 pages that sold over 1 million copies to sort of rewrite that limiting belief that you have to write this big, thick novel. Not true. So flow is key. Stretching 4% beyond where you are so that you're challenged, but you're winning, you're capable. Okay, that's the stretch zone. And so to do this, I challenge you to hire a coach. It doesn't have to be me, it could be someone else. After you get this information and you digest it, seek someone who will give you the missing links of your strategy. Of course, 95% is mindset, but the 5% strategy is important, or you can be spinning your wheels. The most valuable thing I ever did, this was, gosh, going on 7 years ago now, was hire a coach, because I had the Anahata codes that came into me, and I had this amazing vision to share them with the world. And I had a lot of marketing background, 17 years, in fact, in corporate America, and went to school for marketing. And yet I was afraid to take the steps I knew I needed. And I relied on this mentor way back in the day. She showed me how to set up my first workshop and get paid as I go. I'm going to show you that approach here in a minute. And it changed everything. I think I'd still be tinkering around on my first masterclass series had I not hired her and taken her advice to jump in and create deadlines based on people who have already joined your program. And basically you're paid, you're hired, you got to go, you got to deliver. You know, the strategic path is only 5% of it. And so you need to hire someone who knows what they're doing so that you don't have to think about that part. All right, whether it's me or someone else. So here's my zoomed out method. This is why you attended this workshop. This is how I was able to write this book. And I'll show you the screenshots in a second of it becoming a bestseller. It's called Light Memory, An Alchemist's Guide to Waterbending. And this is exactly what I did. So follow this and you'll be able to do exactly what I did to get paid to write your bestseller. You need to generate buzz for your masterclass series, okay? This can be 5 subtopics under the same umbrella. Like I was writing about how you can program water and use it to heal your mind, body, and soul, and to magnetize things to you. And so there are 6 general topics, that 5 or 6, that people would need to know about. And so what are they? And I broke them down. And this was wireframe. I did not create it. I did not create my course before I sold 44 seats at $397. So you do the math. It was over $13,000 I received to then execute on my promise of delivering an hour class a week for 5 weeks. Okay. I know it sounds scary, but if you're like me, you know you have the content inside of you. And if I gave you $13,000 and I said, okay, for the next 5 weeks, your job is to create a 1-hour presentation over these 5 topics or whatever. You can slice and dice it however you want. And I can help you with that in the program I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. But the point is, if you were paid already and you had all that, you had a whole week to write an engaging, helpful, hour-long presentation within that part of the puzzle, could you do it? Absolutely you could. Absolutely you could. And so you write it over the course of the series and you're getting paid as you go. You're getting paid as you go. And if you use the techniques I teach you to flow your information, you're going to burst past any limiters, any concept of, oh, it's not good enough, it's not eloquent enough. I bet you if you open this book, my bestseller, there'd be typos probably. I did my best, but I wasn't overly concerned. Also, I'm sure there's grammatical errors. You got to get over that, okay? People want your information. They don't care if you misspelled one word. Don't let that be the reason why you don't launch your book. So you generate buzz for your class, for your concept, based on a wireframe. You enroll students. Once they pay you, you deliver that course. And as you deliver it, you create notes about each class. Those notes then become your book. You sell your book. There's no upfront cost for that. You go to Amazon. I teach you how to do that in the program I'm going to share with you in a second. You set up interviews with key podcasters, YouTubers, and Facebook, people that would want to interview you. And then after you expand your reach, you host the masterclass again. Now you may say, well, Anahata, if someone reads the book, why do they need to do the masterclass? Well, that's because they get access to me, and I'm ad-libbing. I'm not reading a script. I know my content. So I'm going way beyond what's printed in this book as I teach the course series. Okay. So don't worry if you spill all your beans in your book and you think they're not going to join your class. They will. They will. It will be the reason why they join your class. And then you repeat. You rinse, wash, repeat, and you keep going. I love the story of Eckhart Tolle. When he first started The Power of Now, he wrote that book, The Power of Now. He said he would go to these off-the-wall library bookstores around the country and be like, hey, do you want to read my book? Hey, do you want to read my book? It starts with this kind of organic growth. And we are in a day and age where you can reach everyone through algorithms. So it's amazing. Some of you actually came through. You don't know who I am at all. And you came through because I promoted the post about coming to this event. And now you're here. So you can reach people where they are with the message they need. And here it is, the slide where it's the #1 new releases in homeopathy medicine, #1. Oh, Amazon, hot new releases. I was in St. Thomas vacationing with my soulmate, which, by the way, I used the techniques I teach you in this book. I did a love elixir, and within 24 hours after drinking the potion, he came into my life. Amazing story. But anyway, I was in St. Thomas with him on a beautiful yacht vacationing when I was seeing that my book was climbing up. And then it hit #1 on the hot new releases, #1 new release. Oh my gosh. So then you guys, that's the other key to this. When someone says I'm a best-selling author, did you know that Amazon updates by sales hourly? And so, when you're on the list once, if you get there once, you're a bestseller. But there's no one that's bestseller all time. It's always #1, right? It's just a, something that people think, oh, wow, bestseller, that means they're #1 still. It oscillates all the time. But the point is, you can call yourself a bestseller when you hit the bestseller, the new release, #1. And so I was the bestseller in that category. It was so exciting. And I teach you how to pick a category that's going to give you more likelihood to, there's a science to it. Obviously, if I put my book in self-development, there's millions of other books. So chances are I'm not going to hit #1. So you want to be strategic with that, a little bit of advice. Okay, so you may be saying, well, Anahata, I'm not ready for a master class. I write children's books, or I give small speeches. And I'm here to say that's okay. That's okay too. The information I'm about to share with you will still be life-changing. Case in point, there is this book called Money is God in Action. It's by Raymond Charles Barker. I'll show you it in a second. But first I want to tell you, it's 14 pages long. That's it. Nope, 15. 15 little pages long, and it's tiny. Look how tiny it is. Now look how thin it is. It's a pamphlet. It is tiny, little guy, right? And if you go on Amazon or anywhere, there are millions of copies sold. Millions of copies sold. Raymond Charles Barker became a millionaire by writing a pamphlet. So the first thing you need to know is it doesn't have to be beefy. It just has to be valuable. It doesn't have to be huge. Light memory. This is one of the most beneficial books you can read in the 115-page range, I believe. It's only 115 pages. My chapters are short. They're about, look, this one is 1, 2 and a bit pages. That's it. What's the anthem I keep saying? Complexity doesn't equal value, it equals overwhelm. Now, having said that, when you read this content, it is anything but simple. And this is, again, why I digested it down into small little doses for you to really understand and apply. So keep that in mind. If you are overcomplicating everything, or if you're trying to write everything under the sun in your book because you think that it's going to be more valuable, it turns out you probably have a series and you need to back off, simplify, take a chapter, create a book about that, and then do it again and again and again into this beautiful volume of work rather than in one book. Highly recommend you take that advice and get it out there, get buzz going, fill your courses. And so guys, you tapped into this strategy part of it. The mindset part you need to work on, but I teach that as well. But visualize where you want to go as if it is so. Get it to be so real and get the gratitude buzzing so viscerally that it feels like a memory. I did this. And then it just has no choice but to collapse into your reality, because it's coming from this place of infinite intelligence. It's not, you can't get to your dream. Your dream comes to you when you are it, when you're there, when you've arrived. So really start taking the time, write out your goals. What do you want? Get specific. Surround yourself with the people, places, and things that are going to align you with that information that you seek. Quiet your monkey mind. Tether that monkey mind. Distractions, fear, doubt, indecision, all of that. No, you have to take step forward. And that is the difference between someone who thinks they're going to do something and someone who actually does it. Those success stories, those 2% of everyone, they visioned so clearly as if it was so. They knew in their hearts that it would be. They weren't worried about the how. They just had the what. What do you want to do? And you can get the strategies to do it, anything. So if you're a coach, a healer, a light worker, a consultant, a heartpreneur, anyone who wants to better the world through written word, and you want to get paid for it, I'm going to just highlight some high-level things that you're going to need to do, whether you do them with me or on your own. I want you to have the straight path. Now, the easiest thing for me to do is to share the important aspects of what I'm suggesting you do by sharing my screen and showing you the mentorship program that I've put together for you, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go check it out. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope I'm inspiring you. I hope I'm demystifying it all. It really doesn't have to be as complicated as everyone makes it out to be. And let's go not to the live here. So I've put together a Flow Your Book, Fill Your Course series. And again, you don't have to purchase this. It's just an option. And this is what you'll get. But if you don't purchase it, this is what you'll need to do. Okay, so I'm just basically zooming out so that you understand this program is what you're going to need to do anyways. You can purchase it through me, or you can hope that you find the solutions elsewhere. Totally up to you. So what you're going to want to do is understand the logistics of, and I deliver this in the, I call it Fly on the Wall Bestseller Accelerator. It's going to be 90 minutes. Okay. And this is the library. Once you enroll in this course, you have access to all of this. Okay. This is the only one that's not available instantly. Everything else is available the moment you join. Okay. You can dive in at your own pace. This one, though, is going to be hosted on February 5th. And after that, if you're joining after that, no problem. It will be aired. It will be here on demand after that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you through sharing my screen how to get people excited about your book. Again, guys, if you're not joining, it's okay. This is what you need to do. Get people excited about your book before you write it. Enroll people into a course series before you create it. You're going to over-deliver your course material without overstretching yourself. I'm going to teach you some wireframing techniques that are going to blow your mind. It's going to simplify the whole process. You're going to want to format these series. I give you the template. I'll show you in a minute. as you write, your book writes itself as you deliver the program, okay? You're going to want to publish it, but you're going to also want to understand what are the best practices for making a bestsellers list. You're going to want to design your cover. If you don't agree, I know this adage sounds funny, don't judge a book by its cover, but that's precisely what everyone does. So your cover is critical. There's a number of things that I'm going to teach you about that, as well as how to design it without having to hire a designer. Then you're going to want to understand how to draw more students through the book to you, as well as use it to open the doors to interviews. Okay, case in point, I have 6 interviews now booked since I hit the bestseller list. The book's only been out a little over a month. And in fact, 3 months ago, not a word of it was written, okay? Because it took me 5 weeks to write. That's it. And I love it. I read through it and I go, wow, man, I can't believe how well this just flowed. It's like you tap into divine intelligence and you just let it flow. And you get your ego mind out of it and you get your identity out of it and you become this vessel. I teach you how to do this. So let that book open doors to interviews. I have 6, as I said, set in stone and more on the docket that have yet to be scheduled. And so follow me, you'll be seeing these interviews upcoming. And these are big podcasts. These are big stations with, 3.5 million listeners. And so, holy cow, right? I'm going to be stretching myself into new ears and having people come in and read it. And once they read it, they're going to want to take the masterclass series. And once they take them, you know what I mean? It's this big pulsing body of work that allows you to really work when you want, where you want, for whom you want, for people who love it. That's what I define as a bliss biz. And I want that for you. And then the logistics, how do you pull it off? There's both free and paid for platforms to do it. And I'll share with you all of that. Okay, so this is just the live 90-minute coaching. Okay, let's take a look at the other things you're gonna need to do, whether or not you join this program or not. You need to format your book. Okay, so in this program, I've done that for you. It's a Word doc. Okay, here it is. Here's the file. Oh, did I not put the file in? File should be here. Here it is. Flow your book template. So I used this to teach my high-end clients that paid me over $5,000 each. You don't pay that. But I used this in one of the exercises that I gave them. I said, let's open this Word doc. Let's replace the text I have, and let's set in a time limit. And what was the time limit? 25 minutes. I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds absurd. But literally, if you read what it is and I prompt you and you free flow without thinking about punctuation and grammar, and you just give yourself that license of creativity and you press save at the end, you are going to be astonished how your book writes itself. And you could literally publish it right then, and it could be $1 million seller. Okay, so this takes everything out of it. There's no excuse after this. If you can't read and go, oh, it's asking me, to respond to this prompt, anyone can do that. And so it's really, really great. And that's just the cornerstone. It can be an ebook on Kindle. It can be a little pamphlet, or you can use that as the backbone of future chapters that you dive into with more explanation as you go. So the book template, you're going to need to know how to format your book, and you're going to need to know how to upload it into Amazon, get it approved, create your cover, etc. And I teach you how to do that too. Now, there's another portion of this which is 60 minutes, and it is talking about how to write a book that writes itself. It's that tapping into flow. But the thing you're going to need to know before you get to that point, before you say, okay, I'm writing, is what's included in this Discover Your Magic. Okay, so again, this is part of the program, and you're going to want to know, these are the doses that this series includes. Okay. You'll notice they're short and sweet. They're digestible. Look, 20-minute video, 15-minute video, 22-minute video, 14-minute and 20. So when you add it up in 90 minutes, you understand what your magic is and how you cultivate it. You get to rank that so that you can come up with the best, most potent message. Frame the pain and give solutions. This is critical. There's a psychology behind people going, oh my gosh, this is definitely for me. And I teach you how to do that. What's your promise? Okay, I call it a portal promise. And this portal promise for this entire series, I'll share with you in just a second. And then how are you going to develop and deploy that magic by way of the other information that I share in this book? But you'll see zoomed out, the portal promise is, this is the portal to get paid to write your bestseller and grow your tribe through powerful courses that transform lives. Okay, that's my portal promise to you. If you enroll in this program, it's going to unlock your ability to write a bestseller, grow your tribe, and provide powerful courses to them that transform people's lives. All right, moving right along. I know it's a beefy program. You're going to laugh when you see the price. It's so affordable. You're probably thinking thousands. No. And anyway, even if you don't purchase, no worries. I hope you've received value from this. We have 15 more minutes to dive into the rest of the content, and then I'll share with you how to get it. So again, you're going to want to understand how to write it, what to write about, how to promote it, where to place it, how to get past blocks. One of the things I include in the program is the brainstorming guide. Okay, so this is basically shattering through. It's 14 pages. It's very simple, leading you through step by step into potential things that you hadn't probably thought about to include in your book, and or a way to just get started to tether in and harness all of the could be's that are floating around in your brain before you start typing. And then there is a beautiful Flow Your Book on demand video. Okay, this is where I take you step by step in 90 minutes to write, set up, upload. This is the logistics part of it, so that there's even timestamps. So if you're like, oh, I already understand how to do that, you can just cruise around to the areas that are mysterious for you. The goal being to really make this attainable, right? Get it done. A lot of people say, oh, I'll do it, and then they put it off. Why? Because the perception of difficulty in some way, it's outside of their identity. Well, now there's no excuse. Here it is. Here it is. It's all here. You can do it. And then, of course, there's the question and answer section where we all get to ask questions that may have not been covered. And then I answer them in this ongoing dialogue so that anyone who's in the program can come and ask and use it as a resource over time. The final piece is the coaching playbook. Okay, this coaching playbook is a testament to the fact that you can write small books. And in fact, I plan on creating this as an ebook on Amazon and a pamphlet. It's very short. I think it's 25 pages. Here's a screenshot of the pages. How did I write this? Well, I used the template I give you. It's very easy to do. So this coaching playbook is a roadmap to your bliss biz. Okay, if you are just starting consulting and offering transformation to people in whatever way, it could be, the coaching industry is huge. People are hiring coaches for everything under the sun. There's no topic that's too abstract. And in fact, I teach you in the Discover Your Magic portion how to hone in on that one specific niche, which is going to be yours, that people are going to really understand that you are a big player in that space by providing absolute value to those you serve and solving their problems. So this is a roadmap. This is, okay, how do I get my $10 ebook to convert into 6 figures and beyond? Okay, this is a zoomed out roadmap so that you can go, oh, I've got to do this, 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 and this. Much of that is included actually in this program, but there's things that you do beyond that, right? You may be curious as to how do you go about structuring a 6-month immersive program with a price tag of $5,000 to $10,000 per person. I'll teach you how to do that. I've been doing it for 4 years. You can see it's a lot. You're going to have to do this anyway if you're going to be serious about launching your book. Otherwise, you'll probably end up like many of the people who finally get around to doing it and they press submit and then they get like 2 sales and they're like, what happened? What happened there? So this is the path forward with that. I'm going to stop sharing and share my PowerPoint again to go over a few final things. All right, so if you want to join this program, and then we'll wrap up. So you're going to go to www.flowmybook.com. All right, so flowmybook.com. And you're going to find a replay of this video. How fun is that? A fractal inside a fractal inside a fractal inside a fractal. You're going to see a video of me showing this video inside the video inside the video. Ooh, if that's not a portal, I don't know what is. So you're going to see that in case you want to come back to it and go, okay, what's really included? What do I need to do? What do I need to know? So you're going to listen back if you want to, but here's the high level information of what you're going to get out of it. And then the course information is very simple. If you put it in your basket, it'll tell you exactly what you get, which is what I just showed you. But this is including messaging and niche clarification. This is including your structure and the delivery of it. It's including your contents, the logistics, the PR, the radio appearances, all of that how-to is included. And I want to say the first 10 students to enroll are going to receive a signed copy of my bestseller, Light Memory and Alchemist's Guide to Water Vending. So that's pretty cool. Go to flowmybook.com if you want to join, flowmybook.com. Now, the price is just $349 for the entire series, for the entire thing that I just showed you, $349. That's it. Now, if that's a stretch for you, I know some people are in tough times, and this could be really a gateway to branch out of that. If you have something within you or you're doing it your way and it's not quite working, check it out. So the payment plan is $100 times 4. So every month it would be $100 4 times. So you save $50 when you pay in full, well, $51. But otherwise, yeah, it's $350 to join and or $100 a month for 4 months if you have to do it that way. I hope this has been valuable. I want to mention a few things before we end. When you join my community, we support each other. We rally around each other. On my Facebook Live, I will promote you when you have a book. And you're in a network of people who really want to change the world, to transform the world. And so we support each other. I don't believe in competition, nor do most of my students that I magnetize. It's like the world needs us. So we should help each other as we go. Get the word out about all of the beautiful things we're doing. So that's one thing. You're going to be surrounding yourself with people, places, and things that support your vision. And we can do this together. The alternative is you can say, no, I'm good. Thank you. I'll do it my way. And you're just going to be spinning your wheels unless you do something different. And I'm not saying that something different has to be me, but that's an option. But I encourage you, if you take this information, you want to roll with it, look at all those components and go find what you need. And you're going to quickly see the value of the program is in the thousands of dollars. And it's probably your best bet. It's in terms of streamlined content that aligns with where you want to go. And so that's it. Just go to flowmybook.com. It will redirect you to the shopping cart. You can pay in full or pay monthly payments. And I hope to see you in this beautiful, beautiful course. You'll have a month from now until February 5th when we tie everything together. So you'll have a month to go through all the juicy content that's there. And I encourage you, as I say in the library that you'll be redirected to set business hours. This is your When am I going to work on this to move the needle forward and actually hold myself accountable? It can be 10 minutes a day. It can be 2 hours a week. You know, you could be really aggressive or you don't have to be. It's totally up to you. But the point is, if you don't have office hours, you don't have a program. You don't have anything going. And the other thing I want to say is this really works. This stuff works. This past year has been the best year of my life so far. I've been able to travel to 20. St. Thomas is not really a state, but it's in the Virgin Islands. So the American Virgin Islands. I've been able to magnetize the love of my life. I've been able to fill all of my programs and become a bestseller, which is my goal. Zoom out, past your identity, dream it. Own your entire energy signature. What's going on in your life right now? Own it. And you don't have to be harsh with yourself. Your current results are just telling you where you've been. That's it. And from this now moment forward, you can choose new places that align with your vision and get the support that you need to actuate your desires. I guess I'll leave you with this one thought, and that is that you are divine, that you are an alchemist, and that everything is available for you now. All you need to do is dream it and transmute and create, mold the energy into what you desire, and ask, align, allow, activate. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with me today. It's been a blast. I hope that you take the steps forward to connect with the information that you need to birth your vision in an explosive, expansive way that really begins to contribute to the planet in the way that you came here and that I know you have inside of you. All right, my dears, much love to you and yours. And if you're watching this in replay, the registration button is below. And if not, just go to flowmybook.com. The first 10 will get this beautiful book, which, by the way, will open up so much for you in terms of manifestation. It's the missing link. Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks so much for being with me. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.